little bit of change, a little bit of vibes that will change.
Yep. Well, and if you remember last match, we actually had a issue with the shield not popping with the glitch grenade, and that actually was patched. So I don't think that we'll see people staying away from the glitch grenade this time. But getting into it, we see the match banned pick rates with the Skyway Stadium picked 24 times and only banned 9 times, a rate of 26%. Monaco picked 22 times, banned 11 times, probably one of my favorite maps, rate of 24% being picked. And Sys Horizon right there in the middle with 17 picks, 6 bans, rate of 18%. Las Vegas getting down in there at 17 picks as well, and banned 16 times. And finally we have Seoul, which has only been picked 11 times. But I personally do like this map just because of the verticality that it brings into it, all of the gameplay. But with that, it does bring additional challenges that you can see why it's kind of picked the least and banned the most.
Exactly. Over the course of this Masters Series event, we have seen, Seoul and Las Vegas kind of be consistently banned the most, and it's kind of been Monaco and Sys Horizon trading blows between being second and third place there. But at the same time, we can kind of understand that teams are now feeling extremely comfortable on Sys Horizon. You can see it's only been banned 6 times, so teams are not averse to playing on the map, right? Las Vegas is more of an even pick and ban rate, 17 pick versus 16 ban, just because of the fact that some teams are extremely comfortable on there, and then some teams, while they might be okay with playing on Las Vegas, they don't want to play against a team that's way more than comfortable on Las Vegas. And then, jumping back to Seoul, the meta has been defined on Seoul for so long, and Seoul is one of the most RNG dependent maps, which is why we're seeing pros ban it.
Yep. And one thing to point out with Las Vegas too, there's no other map that has this wide of open areas. Kind of when you get into the main Vegas area, there's just a bunch of just open hallways and open, just space that makes it really difficult for being out in the open, and really kind of where those higher teams and more strong teams can abuse any of those tactics. And it's a little just harder for newer teams to hide and not get chipped away. So it's interesting to see all the maps that we have and what they'll get picked today.
Absolutely. And hey, the teams that are strategizing, picking maps, picking everything that they actually need to win, they're putting a lot of effort into that thought. They're putting a lot of effort into every single action that they're doing today. Speaking of which, we're about to jump into the first match.
All right, so it looks like they're actually going to be playing starting off on Vegas, and then Sys Horizon with the decider on Seoul. So we immediately have one of our least picked, with the decider going to be on the absolute least picked map. So this will be a great match to get started with.
Absolutely, yeah. So Frog3 on Vegas, this is one of the maps that they have been workshopping quite a bit. We've seen their growth from qual to qual, and seeing how Frog3 has sort of adapted their unique play style of trying to get a very quick rotate around from one cash out to a height or to a spot where they can hold off of the cash out. I think Vegas is the map that strategy ends up working the best for them. And we have seen them workshop that tactic enough to the point where I'm now confident that if they're able to get in a good position to catch the other team off guard, then it's good. Because remember, Frog3's fundamentals are right up there with everyone else. They are able to win the team fights when it's a 50-50. They're able to bring themselves into a situation where they can have the upper hand. The issue is that a lot of the teams are playing just so explosively that Frog3's very stable approach doesn't end up working out too well, but on Vegas it has the opportunity to do its best.
Yeah, absolutely. Same thing with Sys Horizon. It's kind of a unique map to see them play on. I'm curious whether we'll see like a DMAT in play, or if they're just going to go healer, or even maybe throw in a light, because Sys Horizon is great for light players if they can dash around and kind of get in the right spot. It'll be just a great matchup between Frog3 and No Idea on both of these maps, and possibly all 3.
Yes, sir. And I'm super excited because No Idea, Mr. Derp and Vrake, 2 absolutely cracked players, especially Vrake on that light, which we are going to be able to see here. And what is this? Are we also seeing Frog3 running a light? I think that this is the first time that I have... Oh no, they're not running light. Okay, I was gonna say they are a double medium heavy squad. I think it was the classic large L instead of because they're in French. So yeah, so they do have the heavy double medium, and of course on No Idea they are going to be running break on that light. And we have seen No Idea experiment with double medium heavy before as well, but Vrake so good on that light. The glitch grenades work so well, and we've got of course Mr. Derp on the heavy.
Yep, you love to see it, and like I said, they're already getting started, and we can just see that they're fighting kind of out in the middle of the open area. This makes it where we see that Mr. Derp has had to kind of go into a corner and hold off this push that they're now getting slammed by. Oh, he throws the C4 and gets the hit.
That C4 pop out killed.
Interesting play.
Oh yeah,
it does look like they're running and just trying to chase down the first cash box. I'm not sure who's in control of it right now, but it looks like they might be running towards
Frog3.
Frog3 has it.
Yeah, then Frog3 is going to be able to make it out there. So what happened was Vrake had a little bit of a trade out. The MP5 doing some insane damage, but when you've got three, barrels of shotguns just going down your throat, there's not much you can do about it, especially with only 150 HP. And so that did cost No Idea a little bit of time in that first fight. So Frog3 going to take that, one little bit of time, push out, get this kitchen cash out started, but we can see No Idea they're already on the roof. Now this is one point where the roof is a little bit harder to find a really good entry in. Looks like Vrake is going to try to use his portal. Oh,
leave game if you can't play. You have to leave game right now if you cannot play.
Oh no.
Yeah, so this is a glitch that has been happening since I believe it was last Wednesday's update, where throwing the portal or throwing any grenade can cause your game to freeze up. You lose all ability to input momentum, unfortunately. So not a great start to go off on that crash. We're going to see how long it takes. I don't know if we're going to need a full lobby restart or if we're going to need to just get him back in. But we'll be right back. Let's see.
I don't know what they do.
We restart the
lobby.
Yeah, they hate when you elevate. You're stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got this whole view to myself. Yeah, why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation. Now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the whole
Sorry about that, everybody. Welcome back. They are restarting the lobby as we speak. And while they go ahead and do that, Rio and I just want to chat a little bit about the sponsors of the Breakout Esports Masters Series event. First off, want to give a huge shout out to, of course, our title sponsor, One Shot Energy, a new way to get energized, from chewable energy drops to focus chews and even voice recovery drops. No matter what you need, you can use code BREAKOUT for 10% off of your order throughout this whole event. All first place and second place players, as well as our MVP winners, are receiving One Shot care packages filled with goodies. You can type !1 shot for more information. Not only that, but also, if you would like to help add to the prize pool of this event, you can check out Matcherino using !donate. Through Matcherino, you can donate towards a prize pool or just complete quests that add money on behalf of sponsors. The current prize pool for Split 1 is over $500. It's super awesome to see some actual prize pools going in the finals esports. This is where it all starts. This is the grassroots. So that's pretty much it for the ad reads and sponsor reads. But Rio, we've got some pretty insane games that we've got coming up today. And right now, we're already seeing it heat up just a little bit. The team fights have been very scared to start, it looks like.
Yeah, definitely. And we could see that happen when they just kind of got stuck in a corner, and then they noticed that they were stuck there, and then I believe that it was Frog3 just kind of rushed in there and was able to take over the cash box and kind of grab it and maybe show their dominance early on. Now that we're getting restarted, I guess we'll have to see if they're able to hold on to that and do it again.
Absolutely. And, nothing's going to change with the loadouts here. A shotgun medium with the FCAR medium on the side of Frog3. And, of course, on No Idea, we've got Mr. Derp running the heavy shotgun, which is a very big classic for this team. Some heavies do prefer to run with the Lewis gun on this map. I think on Frog3, their heavy's running a Lewis gun. But I am personally of the opinion that the SA-1216 is still too good to throw away, especially on a map with such close, engagements like Las Vegas.
Yeah, and just having that many shots in the shotgun, and it does have that like half a second delay when you're having to switch barrels, but it is really powerful. It has a lot of ammo. You can kind of stay in the fight for a bit, like we're seeing right now. Mr. Derp kind of gets shot up. He's holding back. He gets a few pop shots off on the roof. He's really doing damage from above.
How does that kill me?
Wow, he got taken down though, surprisingly.
Yeah, unfortunately deleted there. Like I said, Frog3 is super capable in these team fights, but it's when they actually get onto the cash out that they tend to choke. So right now, they've got a good chance to get some things started. It looks like nobody actually procced the vault before getting into that team fight, so they are going to have to wait that extra bit of time, which is going to give No Idea just enough time to respawn and get in between them and a cash out. Now, luckily for Frog3, the vault is kind of close to B, but it is in between A and B, so No Idea might actually have no idea where it's going. But given the close proximity of B, there's a really good chance that No Idea is going to be right underneath waiting for them.
Yeah, they're actually really lucky having that vault right away from the cash out. So they're able to just get there, and No Idea just doesn't have time to stop it or intercept it. So now we see that Frog3 is getting set up for the defense, and by the time that No Idea gets there, it should be at least a quarter of the way done already.
Oh, and look at this. They've got the APS turret set up just to deny that opening RPG that No Idea is known for. Just as well, they've got their red barrels just ready to go to pop the roof. Here we go. They know that No Idea is above them now. The red barrel is going to go out to open up a little bit more, take away any cover from No Idea if they need it. They're trying to maybe go ice fishing here. So, going to readjust. Frog3, again, they love to play off the point like this, but Mr. Derp going to try to find an opening. Again, APS turrets, no RPG damage is going to come through, but he can at least open up the sidelines here, put up the shield for his team to run through. This is why you run the mesh shield. Going to try to drop at least something through the bottom. You can drop that front barrel, it can give them a little bit of an opening, but with those barricades, Frog3 is baked into this defense.
Yeah, they've got a great setup right now. You could even see Mr. Derp pull out the RPG, but he just couldn't get a shot off because those APS turrets were just blocking everything. I love this parking structure because it's got that great... you see a team wipe.
Wow, Frog3 is actually able to come through, not lose anybody. So in that fight, Mr. Derp opened up the floor, tried to separate them on just to get them across levels. Maybe one person to drop down to the first floor. Unfortunately for him, Frog3 is a tight playing team. They are able to stick together through anything. And it's a really, really good showing of exactly that sort of strat. Make sure that if someone is getting split off, you try to stay with them no matter what. No Idea does not have time to run through for the steal, but they are going to try to at least catch Frog3 off their guard and try to win an early team fight here before going to the next vault. Unless they're backing off right now, which does look like they might
finish them off.
It was interesting to see Frog3
if you were to cancel the
directly on the point, just become more defensive in the final area in case they did spawn real close and No Idea was able to get in there. But it doesn't seem that way, and it seems like they're all going to rush to Vault 2. And I think that they should meet up right about the same time.
Yeah, this is good that they're able to actually get a quick opening on Vault 2. Remember, this is going to be the final round format, so all Frog3 needs is just one steal, one more cash out. That's going to be the end of the round here. So, no idea. They're going to have to stick onto this Vault and play together because Frog3 is going to look for an opportunity to cut them off, get into their heads, and try to win an early team fight here. Look at this stealth tactic, especially Frog3 wearing all of the same military gear. It looks like they're actually just secret special
They're walking
forces.
over. They're on metal.
But looks like No Idea has made their way out up to the top of this sky walkway. This is where we will get our next team fight.
Yeah, and I personally hate fighting up here just because it's one of the hardest spots to hold, and you can just get blown up and thrown down to the bottom in the middle of nowhere. So it's really interesting that they've set up there and so far away from the point. It looks like Frog3 is going to go for the steal, and they seem uncontested at this point, but an RPG hits, and they're unable to continue holding it.
Wow, big C4 here as Mr. Derp actually is able to get some util out.
Last one.
Looks like he's going to be able to finish the second one there with the shotgun. Now it is just going to be the heavy, so no paddles on that side. Frog3 goes down. Mr. Derp actually managed to find a way to get the RPG to hit in a spot that matters. Remember, Frog3 is running 2 APS turrets, so it can be very difficult to find that opening with the RPG. But again, it's such an interesting decision from Frog3 to just try to go for the steal and bait out that RPG shot when you know that you're in the open, you're kind of in a spot that's hard to get to. We're going to be checking this out here. Another bit of C4 on the bottom for Mr. Derp. So Frog3, if they try to come into A, it's just going to be a bit of a mess to try and make this one work.
I think that No Idea has this one locked down. I mean, they've got about 10 seconds to even get on the point, and they've got to fight through all their defenses, and both teams have quite a good defense showing up right now. We see they're just going to dive on it, throw an APS.
APS again.
Hold. Ooh, it gets blasted out there. And we just fight after fight. Shotguns are really in play today. Heal beams holding them back. Frog3 is doing good, but I don't think they're going to have enough time. Oh,
nice, you got it.
Down. Mr. Derp gets res, though. And I think that No Idea has stalled it long enough, and they did.
Nice, good stuff.
So we're now tied 1-1. The next
I thought they were going to commit to that shit, but I was able to bait pretty long.
So it's Vrake coming in clutch there. I believe that Vrake is going to be running with grenades this time, frag grenades. I think that's what that explosion was. And it is super unfortunate because of the fact that, again, Frog3, they run these APS turrets. But that is a really good example of what happens when you can put yourself in a position where those turrets don't matter or don't have time to get up. And that's the difference between these two teams, right? Frog3 is very much a team that requires that setup time. They require winning a team fight in order to get a good setup to hold out on that defense. But No Idea, they're an explosive team. They just jump in. They start with the opening RPG, the big C4 damage, the frag grenades, anything that can just get them down to half HP before you start shooting your gun. And so it is kind of the battle of opposites. We're going to be checking down. If you look at the bottom, No Idea, they're going to be using that gateway portal to make themselves escape into the unknown here. Frog3, they were trying to wait to cut them off, but being portaled all the way across the street makes it really hard to get cut off, because now No Idea, they're going to be able to start cash out D. They're in front of the squad. Things are heating up because this is the last cash out of match 1.
They're already getting started. You can see Mr. Derp is getting pushed into a corner with his little healer there. They've got a good setup. Frog3 is on the roof. They're trying to look for any damage that they can get before they push in. They are playing very tight, so I think that they're all going to jump in now.
Glitch barrel goes off. It's going to be able to hit No Idea. That is going to remove the shield barricade for now. Let's see what's going to happen when Frog3 goes in. Yep, Vrake is going to go down, well as the medium. It's just Mr. Derp up the top. I believe the glitch effect should have worn off by now, but there's only so much that you can do. Medium shotgun going to be deleting Mr. Derp there. That's going to be a team wipe. That's going to be a steal from Frog3. Now No Idea just has one final chance here.
Yeah, and still 7 seconds before they respawn, and it just helps tick away that clock. And I think Frog3 has shown that they're really great at defensive, and I don't know if No Idea is really going to have time to get on there and push in. You did mention earlier that they come in explosively, and I think that that's what they're just going to have to do right now. Not much planning, just get in there and see if they can get a kill and hold down the steal. Do love the use of the red barrels today. Everybody's using them to just blow up the walls. I feel like we didn't see this as much last time.
Huge glitch here. All of Frog3 gets glitched out, and that is going to be a massive opportunity. No Idea is going to be jumping in here. Good RPG damage. That's exactly what Mr. Derp wants. Now they're going to be able to take out one medium here. They target the second medium. He's going to go down as well. They need to dedicate one person to the steal. They pop gas, which could be bad, but Mr. Derp has the health to go through. They have the heals as well. The steal going to be coming soon. That's No Idea with the last second steal here from Frog3. Again, positioning
I don't know if
everything.
seen a good gun team before. This was
Stepped
like
away from their APS for just 1 second, and that was enough time for that 140 RPG damage to come through, and that is just enough of an opening for No Idea to come in there and take advantage of it.
Yep, what a crucial glitch grenade. It really pushed them out of position and let No Idea come in and just kind of take control. That was quite literally, I keep going back to, you said explosive, and that's what we saw. We saw an explosive performance from No Idea. Really exciting first game. Curious to see if they're able to hold it off into the next one.
Exactly. Again, the biggest problem with the setup that they're facing is those APS turrets, and you've got the heavy barricades, you've got the mesh shield. It can be really difficult to find a way to actually get in and make use of that ordnance, but they actually pushed Frog3 back into a position where it was able to work out well for them. Now we're going to be getting ready to jump into map 2. And on map 2, we might see some differences. Remember, on Vegas, it's going to be a tight corridor area where that heavy shotgun is going to do some damage. That medium shotgun can do some insane work. Curious to see what's going to come from map 2.
Yep, and I think that they're probably going to stick with the shotguns because it's a lot of close quarter combat again, and these two teams love to just kind of be close. There's not a lot of chip-off damage from far away. It's really just kind of get in there, get some fights, and let's see what happens.
Absolutely. Tons and tons of different strategies that have been coming through. And again, Frog3 played Vegas a little bit differently. So I'm curious as they come into Sys Horizon if they're going to be playing this map a little bit differently as well. So we look down to No Idea, and they are going to still be running the heavy shotgun, the MP5, as well as the AK. Looking up at Frog3, it's still going to be FCAR and 1887 as well as Lewis gun, so no change ups on that side. What I am really curious to see though is if Vrake has changed that light utility out, because again, the light utility is oftentimes the difference maker. We've seen that portal come in clutch so many times, and again, that skirmisher gameplay type on Sys Horizon especially can catch players off guard even if they're set up in their bunkers with their APS turrets. So seeing what Vrake is able to do here is going to be
go height. No.
We see first kind of combat starting off. He threw a glitch grenade. Ooh, with perfect RPG, gets him down. Mr. Derp, great shot. Throws up the dome shield. Starts pushing everybody into a corner. He's trying to get pocket healed. Melissa goes down.
Yeah, big glitch barrel there. The biggest thing about the glitch barrels is that they're immune to the APS, and it looks like the team wipe is going to come through, and the first team fight goes in favor of No Idea. Yeah, so those glitch barrels do a lot. So what's the number one thing you're worried about when you're fighting Frog3? The 2 healers and 2 sets of defibs, right? That's the biggest trade-off that No Idea doesn't have right now. They don't have that sustainability from 2 defibs. So what can you do? You just take away the defibs and the healing from Frog3, and suddenly half of their playstyle goes away. And that is the entirety of the plan behind No Idea's strike force. Now, we're watching Frog3 try to come back up. Remember, Frog3, they need a little bit of time to find where they're fighting from to take that team fight. So when we see them split up like this, it could be an indicator that Frog3 is not feeling that confident about this approach.
Yeah, it's a bit different, and they're taking their time to get over there as well. I think they're going to try and come in from behind instead of kind of a direct approach, but I might be eating my words because it looks like they're just running on in there, not going the side stairwell.
Yeah, I think side stairwell would have been the approach here on this side because of that break. Able to get one popped off the side there. Mr. Derp already entering the action, jumping on top of the enemy team. He is going to go down. There is going to be a res coming through from the side of Frog3, but it's not going to be enough. Only one res that was canceled out. And as Basilic goes down, that is going to be another team win for No Idea. Frog3 should have probably come from the back stairwell.
Yeah, and just that one spot that they're in right there, they can get so high up, and one of the biggest challenges in any FPS is that they're just get people to look upwards, and they kind of fell right into that trap. And I don't think that Frog3 is going to have enough time. They might be able to dive on it once, but they're going to have to be really coordinated to steal this right out from under No Idea. They're getting set up again, kind of in a high angle, and we've got their light just kind of dancing around, going invis and running away. We see them getting set up.
The thing is, yeah, they're set up on the height here, and as much as Frog3 wants to jump in there, it's not going to work out too well. Even with the APS turrets, you still just have to worry about the absolute damage output.
They didn't rocket my C4 out. They didn't see it. I don't know how they didn't see it, but they didn't
first
see it.
cash out here for No Idea. And one of the things, if you have been watching the finals esports, you know that I have one of the hottest takes when it comes to this game, which is that height doesn't matter in the finals. I will say that in a lot of scenarios, that cash out is not one of the scenarios why I will say that. Height is everything when you have a position like that. When the cash out is out in the open and you are in no man's land with no cover around, no matter how many APS turrets or barriers you can put out, you have tons of opportunities for failure if you don't hold on to the height the way that No Idea was.
Yeah, and Sys Horizon's a great map for this height advantage. There's just little areas everywhere.
Big RPG damage, another big team fight out of nowhere. Sorry to cut you off, but this came out of nowhere. And Frog3 goes out of nowhere.
Yeah, they are choking. They were doing so great at the start of the last match, and this match...
Dude, glitch barrels are so unhealthy for the game, but they're kind of fun.
He said it right.
They're kind of healthy for the game, but they're so broken.
In the last week, I think? Maybe it's 2 weeks ago. We definitely didn't have them in the last game, last qualifier. So
yeah,
that's the biggest change.
Yeah, glitch barrels have been around, I think it's week 3 now. Maybe it's week 2. But yeah, so glitch barrels have kind of changed the way that this game is played, because the APS turret used to be, all right, we can't get glitched now because, the grenade can't come through. That's not the case anymore.
No, I don't have zip.
Yeah, and it really just kind of kept through those defenses. Changes everything up. It's a good way of putting it. Now we see Frog3 trying to get the height momentum here. They're going to try and get some chip damage, but they both have shotguns, and I don't think it's going to be that great being that far away.
Yep. And this is a really good show of what's different between those 2 points. And look at this, Frog3 slips through, No Idea, somehow misses the approach, and with the APS turret set up as well as those barricades, this is going to make things difficult. The glitch barrel is going to come through, no heals will happen from one of the mediums, but look, that Vrake is going to get knocked out instantly, and one heal beam is all Frog3 needs at the current moment. Now, I do think that the RPG popped off. It didn't quite do as much damage as they'd want it to. Basilic gonna get healed up here. Emilian does go down, but it looks like Kynes might be able to get the res. The res does come off, but will Mr. Dirt be able to hold out just long enough? A lot of damage is coming through. No Idea is doing their best, but look at the sustain. It's another res, and F3 is all up. It's just gonna be down to one player who can't do it, and that's gonna be Frog3 getting the steal. Absolutely unfortunate for that second cash out here, but No Idea will have another chance to steal this, and if that doesn't work, they still have another cash out.
Yeah, you got to kind of wonder what happened here, because No Idea had control. They were really set up. They were prepared. And then Frog3 just slipped in and stole it right from underneath them. Very little contesting until after they had stole it, and then we saw the team fight. And Frog3 just kind of showed their dominance.
I'm 4 behind you guys.
Don't think that No Idea is going to have enough time. They might if they just kind of dive onto it. But I think that that's more of Frog3's game right now.
Oh, absolutely. And again, the gas to keep them off just long enough. We are going to see Kynes and Amelia take a bunch of damage here. Only one player left on Frog3, but no time to steal. big team wipe as No Idea tries to get in last moment.
Well, if I don't,
it was kind of
rock
like
it
a
down, we get it.
Scooby-Doo,
Maybe,
villain
actually.
kind of
Yeah,
moment
maybe.
where,
Yeah, but
as
you
the
do
moment
next,
No
you don't
Idea
have
decided,
time.
hey, let's hold it from this building,
Yeah, true,
was the
true.
moment that Frog3 exited from stage right
Yep.
and tried to make it in. They
No, you're
literally
good, you're
just
good.
missed each other on the way
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, and if we had a spectator camera, it would be great because we could just go from top view and see the Scooby-Doo motion even better. But that's a great way of putting it.
Ouais, go.
Faut juste pas qu'il sache où on est.
So it looks like No Idea will start opening Vault 3, and Frog3 is a little bit of ways away. They're kind of taking a sideways approach so that they don't go directly on, and I think that's probably the smarter option. They might even let No Idea just take this to a point, and then try and contest them all along the way.
Yeah, this is a hard cash out spawn, a vault spawn here, given the fact that it's so far away from either point. But remember, they do have the light portals to at least get them out a little bit. Oh, big RPG opening damage from No Idea. Looks like the heal beams are going to come out super early, so that RPG damage is going to get chipped away. But again, No Idea is trying to find a way to start the fight with more HP. And unfortunately for them, though, the barricades, the dome shield, the barriers, it's going to be too much for them to try to break through into. Mr. Derp could drop out to half HP. Vrake trying to activate is going to be able to get two. Mr. Derp, unfortunately, not able to find that last one.
Yeah, that was a great
I was
fight,
fine. I was there the entire time.
especially on the,
Yeah, but no,
what do you call that, like a...
I'm gonna block
No, I
Yeah,
instantly,
yeah,
the
just a
moment he
little
put a
bit of
shotgun
a
away, I
bridge.
stopped fighting.
Yeah, because they were able to kind of go in, pop out, and then go back and kind of tunnel in and hold their defensive line. So it was great to see kind of both teams pushing and then retreating really strategically.
Oh, but it does look like, at the very least, I don't know if No Idea threw the vault away or if they just didn't bring it with them when they engaged that team fight. But they threw the vault away just enough to buy a lot of time here. No Idea is going to not only be able to get the respawn, but they're going to be able to jump into whichever cash out. We see them jumping across the street from cash out C on their way to cash out D, where they know the vault is headed. Kynes takes a little bit of damage here, but unfortunately, it's going to be acoustic. It is all the way down to low HP here. Needs to get healed up, but no heal beam can go on yourself, so it's got to wait it out. While they're waiting, though, it looks like Frog3 is just baking themselves into that top roof area. They've got the barricades, they've got the APS turrets down, and just waiting for No Idea to try to engage. Come on, take the vault away from us. We know you want it. Oh, but there it is! Huge damage from that RPG, blowing up the red barrel under their feet. All members of Frog3 under half HP. That's their opening, and they're going to try to do it. Goo Grenade barricading them from entering the door. Gas barrel as well, going to do some extra damage. But it does look like Basila is going to go down with Emilien, which means one player left from Frog3. But, oh, wait, no.
So remember, we can walk out this
They're
left
wiped
spot.
out completely.
I realized at the end.
Yeah, Mr. Derp's putting in some work.
Mechanically, these guys are way worse.
They're really kind of showing how strong of players they are here. I personally hate this vault right here because it's just so open. It's so easy to blow up below it. And then you're just fighting in the middle of a street. So this one will be really interesting who can hold it, because there's not many good places. And I think this will come down to a real close firefight here, just again in the middle of the street.
Absolutely. And again, we see Mr. Derp starting off with the C4 at the bottom of the cash out. Pretty common. And, he's not bringing barricades into the fight, so we've got to find some goo barrels to make your own barricades here. One APS turret in the middle. C4 going to be going out onto the cash out just to be able to drop it, buy some extra time. And let's look at Frog3. What's their approach? They got the red barrel and the glitch. They're going to try to catch them off guard. Looks like the red barrel isn't going to quite connect. The glitch, though, is going to go instead onto Frog3 as they are going to take some
keep staggering. 20 seconds. We're buying 20 seconds on this,
big
guys.
team fight, just holding for time at the moment, trying to provide a little bit of safety for the team. And just as soon as you delete those mediums, there's no sustain left.
Glitch barrel here. Do the exact same thing.
Yeah, that was a great team wipe. It really went by so quick.
Playtime.
And I think that what's impressive is No Idea just kind of really set up their defenses in what I was mentioning earlier, just a really hard spot. Frog3 had to push in, and immediately when they did, No Idea threw down the jump pads, and they were kind of fighting midair for control. And I think that they might have secured it long enough to get this vault out. They probably have to hold off one more push, but we see that's starting to happen right now. Frog3's all bunched up. They're starting to push in, but they just have the shotguns and the Lewis and I don't think that they're going to be able to do enough chip damage. They're going to have to actually push in there
Yeah,
and
and
try and
Mr.
dive
Derp
on
just
this.
drop the cash out all the way down. It's gonna be a little bit unfortunate for Frog 3. But look at this, they got the bubble out. Not gonna be enough. One medium down, two mediums down. It's just up to heavy. And
That's what I'm
heavy
talking
is
about.
Not gonna be able to sustain enough. That's gonna be a perfect holdout for No Idea, and
We had
that
30
is
kills.
how you hold a cash out.
Dude, bunker
No Idea
players are
managing
so
to take
shit
the
at the
teamfight head off.
game.
They spread
I
out
don't get
just
it.
enough to
They
where those
13
initial glitch barrels that Frog 3 is trying to throw at them don't do as much as they want to. They're not getting as much value as they want. And I believe that is a quick 2-0 to start things off. Unfortunate for Frog 3, given that this is Qualifier for such a massive, important event for the Split 1. But hey, they got a ton of points. We'll see what the standings are at the end of the day. But congratulations to No Idea. It's going to be moving on to our next spot in the bracket.
Yeah, quite an explosive match. I'm amazed that No Idea took it in 2-0. And Frog 3 really put up a good fight, and I expected them to pull off the win on Sys Horizon. So to see it come down to the last cash out, and to see that No Idea come and take it, it was just exciting. They were both really evenly matched. And I think the thing that I take away from Frog 3 is just how well formed they were. Like everywhere they were like a bunch of grapes. They just did not leave their side unless there was like that one time that they told them to split up. So it was just really exciting to see the strategy and the amount of like practice that they're putting into this game, and then come through, and they just weren't able to pull it off. But No Idea, Mr. Derp really had just kind of some great holds, and just as a team, No Idea I think was a little bit better today.
Absolutely. And remember, they are one of our 4 teams that are guaranteed qualified. So they are going to be able to show their stuff in the Split 1 Masters Series event. So it's just going to be No Idea here, starting off super strong to get up into the mix with these numbers, put on some fight, see if they're going to be able to make it up to the top and get that rematch in if they win today. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the next match right after this.
Fight!
No.
One dead.
Watch drone hole. Drone hole. Yeah, I'm playing Siege. Come here, heavy. They didn't rocket my C4. But heavy's one. I'm just shielding. Last one's right here. Nice.
Oh, they push you like glitch like.
Non, il y a l'eau aussi.
Nice,
Light un HP. Light, medium.
C'est bon, on a le point.
Blocking rocket. I'm just blocking rocket. Heavy one. Nice.
Pas de taper.
Ils vont rentrer, je vais rentrer. Tu vas rentrer, je pense.
À droite.
J'ai de sur moi.
Patate.
Viens, monsieur, mort.
Good stuff, boys.